All right, let's jump right into this deep dive. We've got a fascinating stack of sources here, and our mission today is really to unpack this incredible evolution war, heroism, information, how it's all changed in American culture.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? We're tracing this path, like you said, from the certainties, maybe the simple certainties of post-World War II,
Yeah.
all the way to, well, the complex digital world we're in now. And media's been right there, not just reflecting it, but really shaping it.
Okay, so let's start back then. Post-war. Heroism felt clearer, maybe. John Wayne comes to mind immediately.
Oh, absolutely. The embodiment of it.
Right. That rugged masculinity, courage, honor, he was the ideal. And you flagged this quote from him about wanting a fair fight, like in a nice square ring.
Exactly. No gouging, no biting. It speaks volumes about the expected clarity, the morality of the time, or at least the projected morality.
Projected, right. Because this wasn't just happening organically.
Yeah.
Your sources mentioned the Dory-Hollywood complex.
Mm-hmm. A very close relationship. Hollywood was actively helping frame U.S. wars as, necessary, even glorious.
So propaganda, basically.
Yeah. Elmer Davis from the Office of War Information had that insight. It works best when people don't even know they're seeing propaganda.
Sneaky.
It was an era of controlled narratives, strict censorship. Think about it. Major stories like the atomic bomb details were deliberately kept from the public for a long time.
Wow. So good information back then was, incredibly rare.
It really was. Carefully curated, like you said in the outline, those precious sprinkles on a very controlled cake.
Okay, so fast forward. Korea, then Vietnam. Things get messy. Public opinion tanks, right? After the Tet Offensive in '68, Johnson's approval on the war just plummeted.
Absolutely shattered the old mold. The simple hero narrative just couldn't hold up against the reality people started seeing.
And that's when we get the anti-hero. Clint Eastwood time.
Exactly. Think Dirty Harry. Morally gray, pragmatic, often brutal. His characters weren't looking for a fair fight in the John Wayne sense. They were about results, sometimes acting as judge, jury, and executioner.
A totally different vibe.
Right.
And you mentioned sniping earlier. That doesn't quite fit the square ring idea either.
Not at all. But the real seismic shift was television. Vietnam became the living room war.
Right. Unfiltered images straight into people's homes.
Graphic images, especially after Tet. And you had respected figures like Walter Cronkite questioning the war effort. Media went from being a partner to, well, often an adversary of the government narrative.
So the military, used to controlling the message, suddenly had this flood of information, often critical, going out instantly. How did they adapt?
It forced a major adaptation. This is when Operation Security OPSEC gets formally coined, around 1966.
Because the enemy was using seemingly small details.
Precisely. They realized the other side was piecing together seemingly innocuous, unprotected information. And Vietnam was the first war really run with electronic data on a large scale.
And technology was accelerating anyway, right? Cold War pushing thing.
Definitely. Innovations like ARPANET, the internet's precursor, were born from needing resilient communication. Then TCP/IP comes along, and bam, January 1st, 1983, the internet's official birthday.
But the risks of not managing information were huge. You mentioned some examples.
Oh, yeah. Big ones. The USS Pueblo incident, losing classified material. The Beirut barracks bombing and 83 predictable routines made them vulnerable. 241 deaths. Even recently, an ISIS airstrike traced to a soldier's geotag selfie.
Just from a selfie. Wow. So information itself, classified or not, is a weapon.
Undeniably. It became a strategic battlefield in its own right.
Which brings us screeching into today, the digital age. Instant gratification culture. We expect everything now. And the internet's dominance is staggering, over 97% of telecom flow by 2007.
It's overwhelming. And the irony is raw information isn't the scarce commodity anymore. It's the opposite. We're drowning in it. Think 149 zettabytes of data this year.
Zettabytes, I can't even picture that.
It's astronomical. So those valuable sprinkles today, they're not the raw data. They're the verified, contextualized, actionable insights you pull from that flood. That's where things like open source intelligence, OSINT, come in.
Gathering info from public sources, social media, all that.
Right. It's a massive asset for security, for rapid response, and it's also a massive vulnerability. Misinformation, disinformation.
Right.
It spreads like wildfire.
And it affects different groups differently. You noted something about Gen Z.
Yeah, some studies suggest younger generations, despite being digital natives, might be more susceptible to fake news, interestingly.
Right.
Whereas higher education seems to consistently provide a buffer, a shield against it.
Okay, so wrapping this up, We've gone from John Wayne's clear-cut world and controlled newsreels to this incredibly complex, saturated digital frontier. It's a mind-bending shift.
It really is. And the challenge for us now, for society, is harnessing this immense power of instant information while somehow building defenses against the dangers, the manipulation, the falsehoods.
So the fight's changed.
Yeah. Completely. The new fair fight, if you want to call it that, isn't on a battlefield or in a movie ring. It's internal. It's cognitive. It's about developing the wisdom, the critical thinking to navigate this flood of data and discern what's actually true. That's the challenge for you, for me, for everyone.